Okay, so that nice chap helped me pick it up. Bit of scratch. So, welcome to day 10 on the road. It's it's 10:27, so it still takes me ages to pack things up, but I did stop and have a chat again with the host at the hotel, whose English was very good, luckily. So day 10 will see us reaching, all being well, Budapest. Stayed in a pension Aurelia in Donovali, and it was very nice. Breakfast this morning was an extra €7, but it was 3 fried eggs with ham, 6 slices of bread, a coffee, a tea. It was very good. So that will set me up for quite a while. I'm just loving this scenery. So what did I get up to this morning then? Well, I needed to sort out 2 things, so last night and this morning. One was figure out how to get the Garmin routing to work the way I wanted to route it. And I do know the theory. It was the way I'd put it into practice just hadn't worked. So last night I took Lajos's big, sorry Lajos, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, big trip, which was about just over 2,000 kilometers, taking me as far as Bucharest from just about Zakopane, and I started splitting it into chunks of 300 kilometers. But the only way I could do it really was to take his track. Glad I'm going this way and not that way. And remove all the waypoints, just use the raw track, split it, and then let it calculate a route using direct mode, have a look, make sure that looked alright, then calculated the route using driving mode, just ordinary driving rather than motorcycle, and let it plot its course, have a look to see that that looked about right, which it did. But in doing the direct mode, you can select your own number of via points. So for 300 kilometers I put in 60. I've got no idea what the right number is. And then for every 10 kilometers or so in those via points, I put alert on arrival, which is what we're seeing now on my sat-nav. So I will be arriving in 9.2 kilometers at the first via point, which means if for any reason it stops, I know that I'm aiming for that one there. Unfortunately, the name is so long I've given it, you can't actually see the number associated with it. I've got to shorten the name so that it's actually usable, or more usable, but at least I don't have to go to the start point or the end point, which is what it wanted me to do yesterday. So this way I should be able to follow the route that Lajos has created. The only thing is I don't have all the points of interest, because that was on a piece of software that, as I mentioned, it's internet based piece of software. I don't have a subscription to it, so I couldn't really save much of it, and I couldn't get the route itself to import for some reason into Garmin. Again, probably user error, but I think I'll keep an eye open for those things which look interesting. Anyway, it's just starting to rain, so for those of you who are wondering how are the Battlax AX41s doing in well, this has all been road, hasn't it, so far, and in the rain. I don't want to jinx it, but they seem fine. It's just started to rain now. It hasn't rained for a while, so I'm going to take it extra careful because it will be greasy. And I don't know whether you've seen in the videos or will have seen in the videos all the massive trucks, the logging trucks, which I'm always a little bit suspicious of. But anyway, today, Budapest. Come 1 o'clock-ish, I'm going to decide what I'm going to do, whether I'm camping or staying in a pension. And this is a little bit gloomy here, so I'll sign off for now and get back to you when something interesting happens. So yes, it's really chucking it down now, but at least I've got the cover on the tank bag, which is something I'd forgotten to do before. So hopefully that's all staying dry, and everything else is, apart from my little water backpack, there's nothing in there that would go horribly wrong. One of the other things I meant to mention that I was doing was reproducing and uploading the YouTube videos. So I'd uploaded 4 days ago now the day 1 YouTube video, and I'd produced it as a 4K, and it got uploaded. It took 2.5 hours to upload from the internet connection I had, and I had to keep keeping the computer awake to make it do that. Then when it got there, it just sat as SD processed. So I don't know that the SD is good enough quality anymore, but I'm trying to go for a higher quality. But anyway, it just stuck there. I sent some feedback, still nothing happened. And then I tried yesterday evening, because I had a bit of a better connection. I reproduced it as a 1080p instead of the 4K, so HD, and re-uploaded it. And as I say, luckily I had a much better internet connection last night, and it moved from SD almost straight away into HD processing and completed the HD processing. So I don't know what went wrong there, but whatever it is, that was published, so I was able to schedule it, check it this morning very briefly, and then schedule it for a go live, or whatever you call it, scheduled publish date. And so it's up there, woohoo! As is day 2. I hadn't bothered too much with day 3 because I was just so disheartened with the day 1 effort. But yeah. I've just realised, although I'm in nice waterproof clothing and everything's in dry bags, my gloves are getting drenched again, as are my boots. Trying to dry your boots out in rain. If the sun comes out, it's okay, because, oh my word, because you can just ride along with them a little bit askew and they tend to dry out. My feet still stay wet, but the boots dry, so they're okay, Jack. Anyway, probably will be at a bit of an angle this shooting. Anyway, it's really raining and horrible here, so I'm not going to bother anymore. It's probably nothing you can see, but I just wanted to explain what I'd been up to last night and this morning, which is why I didn't leave particularly early. But I feel much more comfortable now, getting into the rhythm of it. The packing isn't taking quite so long. I'm just trying to follow the same strap configuration, and yeah, with hindsight I could have done, well, we've discussed about how much to pack. But with hindsight, could have done with a rack on the back, just so that I could rock strap things to it, so it kept back a little bit. I think this is Slovakia, something like that. Still in Slovakia, of course. Crossing the border with Hungary some stage this afternoon. Big church. Follow the waypoint this time, because it complained the last time. Impressive thing. Somebody was asking in the comments how the CB500X handles with all the baggage on the back, and it seems fine to me. It's been many years really since I rode with pillion passenger. My wife used to in our earlier days, but it was much bigger bikes I had those days, and the baggage on the back is probably the weight of a child. It seems to handle fine. It's coping with these sort of wet, slightly slimy roads, and if anything it's me making a meal of it. I'm enjoying the handling capabilities. They said that they were considering trading in their GS. You will notice a difference with the power, obviously. GS. This is only 47 horsepower, 500cc twin, so you wouldn't expect great things, but it performs fine. It accelerates well enough, and it's perfect for the type of journey that I'm doing, because I didn't want to blast from A to B. I just wanted to enjoy it, which is what I'm doing. So good luck with your choice, whoever you were. I'm sorry, I forgot your name. Look at that ahead. Beautiful. So I've stopped somewhere just to see whether I can get something to eat here. That's quite nice. Still a reasonable gap. That tape is hanging off at the bottom, but it's still doing its job. And because it's stacked high but back, I've got quite a lot of room now, more than I'd had before. And the dye has come out of my gloves again, and my feet are wet, but apart from that, all is good. Oh, my poor little water bag, pretty soaked too.
Just enjoying some lunch, some soup, and some risotto to follow.
It had to happen. Mistook a step. Somebody's going to help me. Okay, so that nice chap helped me pick it up. Bit of scratch. When I say it had to happen, it didn't really. It's just I went to stop to check the road, and went into one of these bits of thing, just toppled and went. Anyway, put it all back and get going again. Well, that was a bit embarrassing. Nobody else involved, just me. Pulled up at that junction, or went to pull up at that junction. Tried to see round a truck that was parked up, and next thing you know, I'm on the floor. I wasn't moving at all, just, well, not moving forwards, just to the side, unfortunately. And luckily there was that chap there who helped. I think I would have managed it without him, but very grateful for his support and help. And so it's all loaded back up now and heading off to Budapest. Right, anything else interesting happens on the way, I'll let you know. Bye. Just be the border here. Customer parking only. Hungary. We're here. Okay, so that's bye to Slovakia. Hello to Hungary then. No, again, no border checks or anything. Still 160 kilometers, 100 miles. It's 3:45 now. And based on some of the roads that will be going on, I think it will be a bit later than 7 o'clock, which is what it's estimated at the moment. Budapest, 65 it says there. According to my route it's 139, so I'm assuming we've got some windy bits to do. I just need to check something creeping about back of my ear. The next ferry is at 5 o'clock, and at the moment it's on the other side of the river, but the pickup point is just there, so I'll be going there shortly. And then got my ticket, my trusty peg. See you the other side. So here we go, getting onto the ferry. Do you want the ticket? Thank you. Oh, I see, too. It's a particular little viewpoint up there, up to the castle. Just a little look around the town. The viewpoints, I think. As I say, why not explore the beauties of these various places I'm visiting? It'll be closed when I get there, of course, because it's already just gone 5 o'clock. But But I've contacted the hotel that I'm staying at and said I should be there between 8 and 9. Oh, there it is. Quite a big graveyard. Right. Anyway, still 98 kilometers to go this way. See you soon. Instagram. Good look at things. It's a very interesting building. Don't know how much of it we'll be able to see. But then I guess Google search and images is the is our friend again in that case. Scaffolding all on the outside. That looks an amazing building. Amazing. Well, I'm just arriving in Budapest and it's raining, but it looks pretty impressive. Of course, there's a discrepancy between what Google Maps on my phone says for the location of my hotel and what Garmin Basecamp says, whatever maps they use. So I'm going with the Garmin one. Well, believe it or not, sat-nav is absolutely spot on. Took me straight here, which is super. I don't know if it's the space or not. Let's try it anyway. Let's see if I can find my way in. Right, bye for now. Okay, so we made it to the hotel, and this is my abode for the night. Which looks pretty nice. Fully functional. TV, couple of cupboards. Oh, hold on. Gore-Tex gloves for later. Well, tomorrow. And then a functional bathroom. It's pretty good. 50 euros a night, about a mile out of Budapest, so the river is just short walk that way. Anyway, that's about it for the day. I think it was 298 kilometers in the end to this point, and the route that I'm using is the route, as I say, from Lagos. I'm so sorry, Lagos. I don't know how to say your name. And it's great. There's a couple of diversions where it's a there and back, but they're worth doing the there and back. If only I'd got there at the right time of day. And there was a little ferry crossing. It's great. So, and now I've sorted out the via points. It makes it much easier, of course. So anyway, tomorrow I'm having a day of rest. Well, a day off the bike. I'm going to continue sorting out the rest of the route that Lagos has provided, because it's about 2,500 kilometres and I've only done the first 900 kilometres of it. And then hopefully do some videos, and then go into town and have a look at Buda and Pest. They look beautiful cities. Anyway, with that, I shall let you get back to your day, and bye for now.